pretty much the same as what we are doing here today. We plan on giving you the iCamps in two parts. The first part is going to be as we did this morning. It's going to be fast. There's going to be a lot of good information. We hope to bring you guest speakers. We hope to have interviews with people that you will be interested in hearing from, and to give you lots of good ideas, especially ideas that come from your fellow business owners, fellow franchisees on what's working, what's working well for them, and to give you that level of visibility and communication. And then in the second half, we're going to do what we're about to do for the next hour, or 53 minutes or so. So let me explain that to you real briefly. For many years, I was very privileged to have attended club camp, some with many of you all. If you were back at the early ones, I think my first time on stage in Waco was over 7 years ago, and I've done dozens, if not 100 or more club camps, and it was always very special to be there with you all in person and on stage. For a variety of reasons, that's not happening now. Some of the changing business relationship that Kyle talked about earlier, and some of them are just because, with the technology that we have available today, there's really no reason for all of you to have to travel to Waco, Texas, and for me to travel to Waco, Texas, even though I'm not very far from there. We're headquartered here in Houston, which is only about a 3-hour drive from Waco, in order to personally meet up and get you guys some good training. We now have the power of the internet, and we can bring you video and audio, and we can take your questions live on the air here. So we plan on doing this on a regular basis and letting you guys attend and watch and benefit from what we're doing here from the privacy and convenience of your own home or your own club, or wherever you have an internet connection. Really, you can be on vacation in the Bahamas and take an hour off if you're so inclined to attend a little Go Figure training. What we're going to do, this part is going to be similar to what we used to do at the on-person or the in-person club camps. We want to give you some training on the iGo Figure system itself. Thank you. We're receiving some kind comments. Thank you there, Ms. Christy Tass. She says that she hates this kind of training. She wishes that it was live and in person. She can't stand the air. No, I'm kidding. Don't type something back. Christy says, I do love this type of training, Andy and Christy. Thank you so much for that. I do want to emphasize we are live on the air, and I will see your comments as you type them. Now, I do apologize that during the first half of the session, I saw all of your great feedback and comments that you guys typed. Unfortunately, it was kind of fast and furious. The first hour, we had live speakers. We had Kyle come in and give a message. We had that interview and so forth. So I didn't really get a chance to address anything that anybody was saying on the air. In this second half, I want to be a lot more conversational, a lot more laid back, slow things down a little, be interactive, because the idea is to give you guys some good information on Go Figure. And I'm going to break the remaining portion of the hour that we have together down into two segments. For the first half, or about the next 20 or 25 minutes, really till about half past the hour, I am going to assume that you know some about Go Figure. I know a lot of you don't need to start all the way back at the basics. And I want to give you some information on how you can really use some of the perhaps hidden to you power and flexibility of the iGo Figure software to really execute some advanced functions that are going to help your bottom line. They're going to help you better serve your members, increase member service, and therefore hopefully customer retention, have fewer people resigning, and also help you to get more members on board, increase your membership base. And then what I'm going to do, starting at about half past the hour or so, is I'm going to go even another step backward and get back to basics. And I'm going to do a day in the life of a club using Go Figure. So what I hope that it will do in this method is for the next 20 or 25 minutes, I'll give you some real good information that hopefully you will love. And then those of you say, I don't need the basics, I've pretty much been using the iGo Figure system for a while, you can just log off and go on with your day. But for those of you who have new employees, keep in mind, keep an eye on your clock at about half past the hour, send them over, because I'm going to be giving them some real good A to Z information. And also for you guys, if you feel like you need a refresher, just to make sure we're all on the same page, sometimes it really helps to get back to basics. And just make sure that you're doing everything correctly, dotting the I's, crossing the T's, which ultimately helps. That second half of the session is going to be 4.5 hours. We're going to be on until about 7 this evening, so we're going to cover it in detail. I'm kidding, folks. Second half of the session is also going to be half an hour, and we're going to be done right again on the top of the hour. Now, a couple questions that we have coming in here real quick. Can you please tell me how to contact Cassie, is asking Cynthia. A lot of people asked us that during the first half. And by the way, all of you asked questions in the first half should have received a personal response from one of our moderators, even though we couldn't get to so many of the questions or any of them really on the air. That is a question that we got very frequently, so for any of you who had that same question, didn't get it asked or whatever, please tune in tomorrow. Cassie has promised that she will share more information, including her email address and how to get a hold of her directly. Let's see. All right, and Kathy, you typed something a little long there. I'm going to have one of our moderators. And let's see, thanks to the whole, Christy says, thanks, the whole world knows what I'm doing right now. I don't think I said your last name, did I? Or where you're from. That's Christy Smith from, no, I'm just kidding. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. A few things that I want to show you about the iGoFigure software. And I'm going to start over here under Reports. And let me pull up a very powerful report. And that is, under the Report Wizard, Create a Member Report. Now, this is a simple 4-step wizard that allows you a tremendous degree of power, flexibility, and control in managing your members, in communicating with your members, and increasing the level of customer service to your members. Yes, I did say 4-step, and I know those of you who are more observant might be looking at your screen right now and saying, wait, it says step 1 of 5. You know what? The 5th step of this wizard is simply, how do you want to manage the information? Do you want to view a printed report? Do you want to print mailing labels? Or do you want to send an email? So I don't even really consider that a step. I consider it a simple 4-step wizard. And let me give you an example. I love to use this one about how this wizard works. And here's the example. Let's say you wake up one morning and you happen to see an article either in your local paper or on msnhealth.com or whatever about yet another study confirming the many benefits of exercise to diabetics. And you happen to know that you have a few diabetics at your facility, and probably all of you listening can empathize with that, and you'd like to send them an email. Not a bulk email to all your members, but just a personalized email just to those members who are diabetics, making it look like you came to them personally and say, hey, check out the article on page 3 of the paper this morning. I just wanted to send you an email, let you know that, and congratulate you on being a member here at my facility, taking control of your medical situation, managing your health. You go. You keep coming in and improving your health and your life and your situation. Let me show you how easy it is to do that with this 4-step wizard. So let's take a look at step number 1. Select membership type. Do you think that we care if they're a check draft diabetic or a 12-month prepaid diabetic? No, of course not. We want to send this email to everybody regardless of their membership type. So step number 1 is very simple. I'm going to click on Select All and Next. Now, I'm going to come back through this a second time and show you some of the many amazing, powerful things that you can do, though, with this screen in the next view. Okay. Step number 5, select based on membership status. Okay, I can select whether they're active, inactive, membership hold. I really don't care about any of those things, right? So I'm just going to say select all. The only thing I care about is if they're a diabetic. What about if they are in collections? Would we include them? Of course not. They owe you money. Are you going to do something nice for them? No, I'm joking. I'm already getting nasty comments. No, absolutely. I mean, this is an important medical condition. I don't care if they are in collections and they owe me money. Debbie is asking, is this available right now or is this in the new version? Debbie, I'm so happy to hear that question because every time somebody asks that, it really makes me think, aha, I am showing people something new. Yes, it's available in this version right now. If you have version 3.6, let me tell you, you don't need to wait until version 3.8. You can do everything I'm showing you right here, right now, in version 3.6 and up. So I'm glad you asked that. I see that people are learning, and that perhaps I'm showing you something new. That's awesome. Please, any of you that have any questions, go ahead and type them in. Okay, so I'm definitely going to include members who are in collections. You know, as a matter of fact, if I do send them this email, somebody might go, isn't that nice? You know, I can't believe it. Andy over there knows that I owe him money. I bounced my last 3 checks. I haven't been in a month, and he still remembered that I was a diabetic and personally sent me this email. You might be surprised. You find the next day they come in, pay up on what they owe you, and never leave you. Okay, do you want to include archive members? Sure, I would. Do you want to include the do not contact members? You know, it's really up to you. This part is new, by the way. Debbie, I have to tell you, obviously this was not prior to version 3.8. In version 3.8, you're going to have to make your own decision. Personally, I might look at it and go, you know, this is not a mass marketing type of an email. It So, I might want to say, uncheck this. So I will include the do not contact members. Or you might want to be respectful of them and go, well, they're not working out, so what's the sense in telling them congratulations on managing their medical condition by being a member here if they're not a member here? So I would say, do not include the do not contact members. You need to kind of read this carefully. Include do not contact members. Now the do not contact members are getting this, all right? It's real simple if you just take a second to read what it says. I uncheck this. Do I include the do not contact members? No. All right? Simple enough. Okay, let's go forward. Step number 3, attributes. This is how I know who's a diabetic. So I would want this email to go to anyone who's a type 1 or type 2 diabetic. So I check those off next. And the final step, step 4, I can filter based on the date they joined or their birthday. I don't care what date they joined, and I don't care what their birthday is. The only thing I care about is, are they a diabetic? So I'm not going to select any of these, and I'll click next. And here's the magic quote-unquote 5th step. This is quite simply where I say, how do I want to manage the information that I have selected in the first 4 steps? Do I want to view a report? And if so, I can sort it by any of these fields. I can even sort it in order by ascending or descending. All right? This would be great. Let's say for some reason you just want to see a printed report. I want to print out a report of all my members who are diabetics. Maybe you're interested. Maybe you need to do it to be in compliance with some law, HIPAA regulations, who knows what. But the point is, if you want a printed report of all your members who are diabetics, you just go through this wizard and you can do that. If I check right here, print mailing labels, it will now print out mailing labels, name and address on standard 30 labels to a page. All this information is available to you. You just put it in your laser printer or inkjet printer, and you can print labels. That way you can send a card in the mail. Or I can just click on this orange Email Now button. Now, I'm not going to do it, and I'll tell you why. Because what it does is it opens up your default email browser. Last thing I need to do is open my email right now and start getting 100 pop-ups of meetings that I'm supposed to be attending and incoming email, right? But you get the idea. I hope you click Email Now. It opens your default email browser, whatever it is. Mine's Microsoft Outlook, so it would fire open my Outlook. It generates a new email window for you, so it says New Email. It fills out all the email addresses of everybody who matched this filter criteria in the BCC, or blind carbon copy field. So no invasion of privacy. They don't see each other's names or email addresses. Nobody else at your club knows who all else are diabetics. And it looks like that message came to them personally. They don't even know it went to anybody else besides you. Now, a lot of times people ask, well, what's the content of the message? Or what email address or account does it come from? See, that's the beauty of it. Because we make this button open your default email client, like Outlook in my case, it comes from whatever email you want it to. So it's really up to you. You can send it from any email account you want. You can type any subject line you want. You can type any message that you want. You can include an attachment. It's 100% up to you. Okay, now that we have done that, and Julie's asking a question about mailing labels in the United Kingdom. Julie, I'm going to let our moderator reply to that, but you will get an answer. I know that your paper size and your labels are a little different. Let me go through this wizard one more time, because I want to now show you the hundreds of things you can do. I promise I won't show you all of them, but what I'm going to do is show you, based on the steps, the incredible power that this simple 4 or 5 or whatever step wizard gives you. Let's go right back to the beginning here, and I'm going to do Create a Member Report again. And let's look at the very first screen. Christy's asking, what about the 84 emails max? Very observant there, and I think a few of the others of you noticed it said 84 emails max. That is something we put in a long time ago. It had to do with if you send more than 84 emails at a time,